Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I would like to talk about stepping into the unknown. And first, I want to say we are always stepping into the unknown. We just don't realize it. And once we bring our awareness to the fact that we are always stepping into the unknown, the idea of stepping into the unknown becomes a lot less scary and daunting. Because the reason why we are always stepping into the unknown is because everything is always changing. Change is not the spice of life. The spice of life. Change is life. And you may think that, well, no, I've gone through phases where it's just day in and day out. It's like Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing over and over again. But let me tell you, it's not. You have never experienced one day that was exactly like another day. And even if you feel like you're doing the same thing, like I have the same routine, I eat the same thing, I go to the same job, I do the same things. However, number one, you are not the same. Your body is not the same. Your cells are in a constant state of turnover, of being born, of dying, of living, So even on a cellular level, you are never the same from one moment to the other. You are never breathing in the exact same air. You are never thinking the exact same things. So you are in a constant state of change, and so is the world around you. So is every person, every living thing, everything. The weather is never the same. The temperatures are changing, the vegetation is in constant change. Everything is always in a constant state of change, a constant state of movement, a constant state of evolution. And therefore, we're always stepping into the unknown. If you are stepping outside of your front door and nothing is the same as it was when you walked through into your house the night before, you are then stepping into the unknown, because you don't know what you are stepping into, because you have never stepped into that same exact scenario before. Now, granted, like we can learn to deal with situations because we've had a similar situation before, but it's never exactly the same. And I'm talking about down to a cellular level. It is only our human minds that like to think that things are always the same, because the human egoic thinking mind finds comfort in stability. It finds comfort. It feels like you are safest when things stay the same. But little does your ego know that things are never the same, and that is just purely an illusion that is put on by your thinking mind. The reality is everything is always in a constant state of change. Everything is always being different, and we are always stepping into the unknown. And what the divine wants us to know about stepping into the unknown is that it is okay. Everything is okay. And if there is nothing else besides change, besides the unknown, there is no reason for us to fear it. And the other thing they want us to know is that we are divinely guided through this unknown territory. So when you are experiencing something that even your thinking mind thinks is different, change, and is the unknown, and there's all of that fear surrounding that, and all of those what ifs. What if this were to happen? What if that were to happen? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if? I know I go down that road so many times, and I have to course correct all the time. But the divine wants us to know that it is okay to experience that discomfort of the unknown, and that we are more I don't know how to put it into words. I keep getting the vision of like like a baby in like a little basket, like, okay, like that blank, you know, have you ever seen the picture of when a stork delivers the baby and it's kind of like cradled in that like blanket basket kind of thing? That's how the divine wants us to feel. And that basket or that blanket that is constantly surrounding us and holding us, that is the divine. That is our intuition. That is our guides and the angels and all of the spiritual entities that are here to kind of cuddle us on that journey. Now, let's go back to the stork and the baby example. So, you were the baby in the blanket and the divine is cuddling you, but the baby is on a new adventure. The stork is taking that baby somewhere different. So the baby might be thinking, oh my goodness, like, where am I going? Why am I flying so high? What is this bird? What's gonna happen? You know, and we are that baby, and the stork is the transition of carrying us to someplace new, and that blanket, that basket that is surrounding us and keeping us from falling and providing us with the safety is the divine. And but the baby might not recognize that. So the baby might be scared. The baby might be like, what is going to happen? What is happening right now? And where am I going? And it's okay to ask those things, but you always have to bring your awareness back to the fact that we are being held and loved and supported and guided by the divine no matter what happens. Remember, it is only our judgment to things that make things good or bad. You may be like, well, how am I in such a safety net when I just lost my job? Or I'm being forced out of my apartment and now I have to find a new place to live. How is that safety? Well, remember, it is only your judgment to the fact that you lost your job that makes it bad. If that job had to go away because it needed to make new for something even more wonderful, something even more aligned for you, then that had to happen. And a lot of times it is only in our hindsight that we can see that. But we can use that hindsight to our advantage because we can reflect on other examples of when something went wrong in our life and it ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to you. A great example of this, I think, is if you've ever gotten your heart broken. If you have ever gotten your heart broken, if you have ever been dumped, then and you are far enough away from it to look at it objectively, a lot of times you will find that they did you a favor and that you learned so much and that it could have possibly been the best thing that ever happened to you. I'll tell you what, every time that I had been dumped, I think all of those three things for sure. For sure. I learned exactly what I didn't want in a relationship. I was done the favor of being broken up with as opposed to me having to be the person that broke up with them. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me because all of the learning, all of the growing, and then to be released from the relationship that I wouldn't have been truly happy in, like celebration, like thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to those people who were those teachers to show me what I truly deserved in a relationship, and it wasn't them, let me tell you. And I love that. Like, I would never take any of that back. And so you can use that hindsight of like, well, in the past, this happened, but then it made way for something so much more amazing than I could have ever planned or imagined. So maybe what's happening right now is happening for a reason. Use that hindsight to help you maintain that faith, to help you maintain that feeling of knowing that everything is going to be okay and everything is working out for your highest good, and the divine is conspiring in your favor all of the time. And always remind yourself, bring your awareness to your ego and your thinking mind. Bring your awareness to the fact that you are not all knowing and you are not all seeing, and that sometimes old needs to break down and be cleared away in order for the new things to be brought into your life. And that is how we can step into the unknown with confidence and without fear. We need to let go of that fear, because the fact that this is any more unknown than anything else is a complete illusion, because like I said, we are always stepping into the unknown. Regardless of where we are and what we are doing, we are always stepping into the unknown. And you know, we have tools in our tool belt to help our human minds kind of deal with that concept. You know, we have the hindsight. Use that hindsight. We have our awareness. We have our faith. And most of all, we have our intuition. And if you ever need more, if you ever need a little bit of comfort, I suggest that you stop what you're doing, you take a few deep breaths, you take a moment to connect and ask your guides, ask the divine, ask the angels, is everything going to be okay? And just now, even as I said those words, I felt, and remember, it's subtle, because the divine is subtle, energy is subtle, I felt a warm feeling of comfort come over me. Remember, it's not going to always be a yes or no. Sometimes you will get a warm, tingling feeling. Sometimes you will just feel a presence. Sometimes you will get a yes, it's going to be okay. But if you take that moment to tune in, the divine is always going to answer you, and the divine is always going to give you a feeling of everything is going to be okay, because everything is going to be okay, because the divine is perfect and everything is the divine, therefore everything is perfect. So even though our human minds might label something as not being okay, remember that that is our judgment to it, and there are always gifts if you are able to put your egoic mind aside and to really look for those gifts and to really let those gifts just come to the surface and to focus on those gifts and to give gratitude for those gifts and to allow those gifts to be. Do not add the resistance to it. For example, let's go back to if you lost your job. So allow yourself to feel the emotions that you're feeling. You know, it could be anger, it can be hurt, it can be sadness, it can be fear. Allow those feelings to be there, but not for too long. Let them move, keep them going. If you gotta cry, cry it out. But then bring your awareness back to, okay, what gifts am I being given right now? Because this is a gift, and that's how I'm going to look at it. And how am I being gifted right now? Am I being gifted with maybe some time to rest and relax that I so desperately needed that I was not getting when I was working before? Am I being gifted with the possibility to find a job that I love even more, even if you loved your job, to find a job that you loved even more, that maybe paid you more, that made you a little more well compensated? What am I learning from being let go from my job? Say you were fired from an action that you took. What can I learn from that action? Was I wrong in that moment? How could I have done things differently? And don't think about it in a way of beating yourself up. Just think about it in a way of wanting to learn and grow. And focus on those gifts. You know, say it's just allowing you to have extra time. Like, thank you so much for this extra time. I would never have been gifted this extra time without this happening in my life. I'm gonna right now choose to have faith in the divine, to know that I will always be provided for. I will always have everything I want and need, and I can move forward from a place of abundance and not from a place of scarcity and lack. Because when you come from, oh my God, what's gonna happen? This is awful. Oh my goodness, this is so terrible. Why is this happening to me? You are putting out the wrong vibration. You are coming from a fear and lack mindset. You are not coming from a love and abundant mindset. And remember, we're vibrational beings, and we bring into our lives the vibration that we are giving out. So it's really important to understand that. So I want to not make this video too long, but I just wanted to deliver that message of, to give us a little more confidence when we're stepping into the unknown, and to give us a little more comfort, and to give us a little more, I guess, like solitude, like, that fortress of knowing that we can do this and we can step into the unknown every single moment of every single day, because that is what life is. Life is the unknown, and let's just get comfortable in the discomfort. You may not find comfort in discomfort, but you can, and you may not end up being comfortable in the discomfort, but you can be not surprised by it. You can find comfort by knowing, by just expecting it, just knowing that you're going to be uncomfortable and knowing that life is unknown. But that is the most wonderful thing, because that is allowing this magic and the miracles to happen every single moment of every single day. So let's not approach it from like a, oh my goodness, anything could happen at any moment, in a fearful way. Let's approach it from a way of awe, of approaching it in a way of wonder, and wondering what kind of magic could happen next, wondering what kind of beauty and kindness you can see today, and coming from a place of positivity and not from a place of fear. Let's come from a place of abundance and love, and not from lack and fear. So that is our message for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you tomorrow.